right, Mr. Foreperson, is this the verdict of the jury?
Yes.
All right, is it unanimous?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Question. Due to circumstances surrounding the publication of the statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp. Answer, yes. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven, by clear and convincing evidence, that Ms. Heard acted with actual malice? Answer, yes.
Hey, human family, how are you? It's Darren. Welcome to another episode of Fully Alive Again. You guys, today is not only a celebration as a narcissistic abuse survivor for those of us who have overcome the horrors of this, seeing Johnny Depp's victory, but there are 4 major paradigm shifts that are going to occur and already are occurring because of this trial. And I want to share those with you today. Then I'd like to close out this episode with another lesson we can learn, another thing exposing how much of a narcissist Amber is by the way that she responded after the trial. All right, you guys, so let's do what we do and dive deep.
No tears, no fears, fully alive again after these years.
Benjamin Franklin stated, "When you're finished changing, you're finished." Powerful stuff. You see, I believe over the last couple of months during this trial, there's been a paradigm shift happening. And I would like to go over a few of the things that I think are causing these changes and what I think will happen in the future after this trial is a long, distant memory. All right, you guys? The reason I call this a dawn of a new era is because I really do think that Johnny Depp is a forefather of a new consciousness. I think this trial has and will continue to change the way that people view men who have been abused by women. I think there's been a major paradigm shift here. And I think it's going to free up a lot of men to be more candid about their journey and about their experience and to press charges and seek punitive damages when relevant. This is a good thing, and I really think there's a major shift here that has taken place and that is taking place. One is that the first time since I've been alive, there's been punitive damage for a smear campaign. Now they call it defamation of character, but it's the first time something like this has happened with a man versus a woman. That the man came out on top and a covert female narcissist, in my opinion, was exposed and defeated in the public eye. You see, one of the things that I've always been turned off by watching the plethora of channels about narcissistic abuse, and there's a lot of good ones, and thank God they were there when I discovered this. I really mean that they saved my life. So I want to be very careful with what I'm saying. But whenever someone says, bring 2 shovels if you're going to have a battle with a narcissist, sets off a warning signal that this person just might be a narcissist. Anyone that tells you that you are small and another human being of flesh and blood is completely dominant over you has to be coming from a position of being one of these people. Now, please, I get it. I know that they have no conscience. I know they can seek to lows that you and I would never fathom going into. That doesn't mean that they are unbreakable. That doesn't mean that they're invincible. It just means that they're dirtier, they're lower, they don't have a conscience, they'll do anything. There are crocodiles with bigger teeth, bigger claws. There are lions wearing tutus and doing ballet dances along with tigers and bears. Just because they have certain vicious traits that we don't have doesn't mean that they're the almighty powerful narcissist. Ooh, that narcissist gonna get you. That boogeyman gonna eat you up. You better not stand up against them. If you do, bring 2 shovels. Get the fuck out of here with that. Don't get me wrong, I gotta keep it 100. Evil is real and it hits different. And they do have some different shit that they bring to the table. But just like all of the other vicious, unconscious beings, these animals even have more conscious and empathy than these monsters. All predators sneak up on their prey. That's their secret to success. Even when they're stronger, more capable, and more powerful, the only way that they can win is to be deceptive, to hide, to be sneaky. That's what predators do. There are only 3 ways a narcissist can be more powerful than you. Number 1, you don't know what they are. Number 2, you do not accept what they are. And number 3, you do not know who you are. We grossly underestimate our power as sentient human beings. We are currently living in a cupcake world that tells you that being docile, weak, and afraid is a good asset, that it makes you more compassionate. Weakness does not make you more compassionate. That is the biggest myth in the world. That's a narrative pushed by narcissists. Enthusiasm, power, confidence is what you want. I'm not talking about being supercilious or arrogant or rude. But being strong, confident, and enthusiastic are good characteristics for human beings to have. To be weak and docile does not mean that you're a good person. And often that's how narcissists camouflage themselves. Through being just so weak and being such a sweet little butterfly, a little angel, or the swell guy. That's their camouflage. Number 2, the leading man heartthrob is open about being abused. This makes it no longer taboo for other men to speak out. I mean, really grasp this. When he came out and willingly and openly said, this woman was abusing me. That's a paradigm shift. Although it may not be as tangible as we would like, but I promise you, that's going to echo into future generations and make a difference. Number 3, the behaviors and characteristics of a covert female narcissist has been seen by the world. It's been televised. For millenniums, for decades, for generations, people, especially men, assume that a woman of her caliber would not stoop to that level of vulgarity, vindictiveness, and manipulation. You see, beautiful women have always been given the benefit of the damsel in distress. Beauty gives you a buffer for a lot of stuff. And this was an eye-opening event to see that you can be a very attractive person and be an absolute monster. That's going to create a level of awareness. It's going to keep people conscious of this type of behavior, especially coming from a woman. But I believe both genders, human beings, benefit by this from this trial and the exposure that it's given to a hidden world. Millions of people are now aware of, have a tangible example of what a wolf in sheep clothing looks like. And last but not least, number 4, the Me Too movement and the cancel culture. We are far too quick to cancel people. We are far too controlled by marginalized communities and people who think that their narrative should be everyone's narrative. People who are narcissists hiding under the disguise of being victims. This is their MO. Rest assured, you guys, I'm an independent. I grew up a Democrat, very progressive person. And rest assured, there are just as many progressive narcissists as there are conservative narcissists. And all of them agents of chaos doing it differently. Whatever your margin is, whatever your marginalized community is, black, white, Latino, female, male, gay, straight, whatever it is, there is a plethora of narcissists in that community. This is just the human reality. So to trust that and to have a slogan that says, believe her no matter what, is just preposterous. Now I want to move into Miss Heard. She's at it again, you guys. Now I gotta be honest with you guys. When I was watching the verdict, after jumping for joy, seeing the pity, the pain, and the pouting of Amber's face, it got to me. I thought for a brief moment, I sure hope people ease up on this woman. She's got what she deserved. And then it dawned on me, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when she starts to torment that child of her and take him or her through hell. It's not but a moment away to when she starts to abuse someone. In fact, it only took less than 3 hours for her to start the same accusations up again. Just a few hours after being indicted. They just will not let go. You and I know that. Those of you that have been abused by these monsters know how intractable they are. Also, take a look at what that headline reads. Amber Heard wins $2 million. And how the headline about Johnny Depp winning, the actual person that was abused, the actual person that won punitive damages, is printed in little red lines above her big headline. And you want to tell me that marginalized communities don't have a narrative, that feminists an agenda that goes through the media? Come on, man. What are you? Hey! Come on, man. Come on, man. It's right there before your eyes. But I'm digressing here. It just took a few hours after being indicted and in debt of over $13 million that this woman went on the attack again and almost positioned herself for another defamation trial, and certainly has damaged her appeal or any willingness for Johnny to have compassion and empathy towards her and lower the cost. Narcissists are Luciferian agents of chaos. All that they know how to do is attack and damage. And the media, again, I know I'm digressing, but the media is here to keep us sick and divided. And they are frightened to death of people in social media like myself and millions of others that expose them. All right, you guys? So let's take a listen to what Amber actually said and stated in her address to the press after her annihilation in the defamation case.
What is going back to you, your reaction to all that? Johnny Depp's statement, very long,
My
very well
reaction
thought.
to you, my reaction to you is Amber Heard's statement, which we just have in to us right now. Let me read that. The disappointment I feel today is beyond words. I'm heartbroken that the mountain of evidence still was not enough to stand up to the disproportionate power, influence, and sway of my ex-husband.
Do you see the victim narrative she's still going with? More of the same? He's the almighty powerful, and I had a mountain of evidence. Narcissists actually believed their lies. You see, often as a survivor of narcissistic abuse, when you overcome this stuff, there's a part of you that really hopes that this person will one day change and dissolve and get the demon and darkness out of them and just own up to the facts. They won't. You will never get closure. That is really the takeaway from this segment of the video. You will never get closure, and they will never stop lying.
I'm even more disappointed with what this verdict means for other women. It is a setback. It sets back the clock to a time when a woman who spoke up and spoke out could be publicly shamed and humiliated. It sets back the idea that violence against women is to be taken seriously.
What you just heard was a form of triangulation, a form of divide and conquer. She said that the jury, all of Johnny's witnesses, the public itself, do not take domestic violence serious. I don't know anyone, be it male or female, that does not take that serious when a woman is being abused emotionally or physically. This is absurd. But it is a form of getting the Me Too movement and the radical feminists to stay on code and, in my opinion, continue to be agents of chaos. Nothing more, nothing less.
She goes on to say, I believe Johnny's attorney succeeded in getting the jury to overlook the key issue of freedom of speech and ignore evidence that was so conclusive that he won in the UK.
She continues her quest to try to triangulate the listening audience by stating she thought she had free speech as an American. So now if you believe in free speech, you have to be Team Amber. You see, I'm getting all of the manipulation tactics that I can possibly use to keep people on my side, so I can continue my nefarious, manipulative tactics and deeds, because I'm a Luciferian agent of chaos, and I'm still fooling everybody because I'm so fucking clever. This is basic 101 manipulation tactics. Let's try the free speech. I just did the feminist. Now let's go with the free speech, And while I'm at it, let's pretend that Johnny's UK trial was against me and not a major newspaper and media outlet in England. That it was me versus Johnny. It didn't have the same rules. Johnny was suing the Sun newspaper, one of the media conglomerates in the UK. It is a whole different ballgame when you're coming after the press and the media who are sharing their opinions. When a person is doing a smear campaign on you and destroying your reputation, that's a whole different animal. But again, I'm so clever. I'm going to try to do everything I can. I'm going to manipulate and do everything I can. Because I ain't ever done nothing to nobody. I'm just an innocent butterfly floating around, shitting rainbows and unicorns. That's all I do, trying to help the Me Too movement, trying to stand up for what's right and help my fellow female citizens, because I'm an angel. All right, you guys, let's put this bad boy to bed. There is so much to celebrate here, you guys. No matter what kind of spin her lawyers or the media or other marginalized communities try to put on this, this was a tremendous victory for all human beings who have been abused by these monsters, not just men. But man, this is epic. This is an extraordinary day. Johnny has created a new reality, a paradigm shift that I think will pay dividends and empower men to stand up, speak the truth about their relationships, and stand tall in your masculinity while doing so. All right, you guys? And I've got nothing but love for all of you. I deeply appreciate this community. Oh my God, I'm digging you guys. I think we have a fantastic community here, and I wouldn't change anything about it. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And if you have any comments, please leave them below. If you're on the contrary of what I said, or please say so below. If you have something to teach, I am willing to learn. And if you concur with what I'm saying, let it be known. Share your comments. Your opinions matter and they make a difference. And I love interacting with you guys too. All right, you guys. And most of all, we got to get it in. Most of all, it's better to be used, abused, hurt, betrayed, damaged, and even had a smear campaign drop you to your knees by an ass clown narcissist than to be an ass clown narcissist. These people are pathetic. There's nothing to be envious of, no matter how much power, money, beauty they have. No matter who they are, internally, they're in a mess. All right, you guys? So I'll catch you on the next video. Until then, peace. Be well.
No tears, no fears. Fully alive again after 6 years.